Hey guys, how's it going? Here again, live. Um, yep. So, talking about dichotomy, like just like the two sides of quite all the opposites of something that happens. Um, well, not quite the same as an oxymoron. I might have to look up the differences, but um, Australia has bushfires currently, but we also have had rain and we also have cyclones, which for I guess the Americans is a hurricane. So we have like fire tornadoes and that, like whirly winds and stuff like that. And in some parts of Australia, we actually have a whole deluge of rain and battening down for a tropical cyclone or a hurricane or something like that. Big wets. I can't remember the terms that they use. But anyways, dichotomy. The fact that, and I've seen this, is that in Australia I've had days in summer where I've been driving, it's bucketed rain, and then all of a sudden it's dry. Now I've been actually driving and you could see a clear line in the road where one bit was wet and like absolutely soaking wet, and the other was absolutely bone dry, and the sun was out like bright and shining, like like now, and there was like definitely a line of a few clouds and absolutely bucketed rain. That's what's so interesting about Australia. I'm not sure if this happens around the world. If you can give me some examples, that'd be awesome. Or if you can just say, hey, yeah, it's or even think if it does happen, where you have what appears to be two conflicting things, like the weather patterns happen, the dichotomy of it all. And that's where I think a lot of people have problems these days, is that they can't sort of think about two contradicting things at once, and they're unable to resolve it, because some of it's all about context, some of it has to do with your own personal ethics and beliefs, and your strength of character, whether you're going to buckle or not. Now, I've done a lot of thinking. I've been wrong in a lot of things. One thing I know I'm not wrong on is actually being me. And I guess learning and trying to be open to things. There are times when, like everybody else, there's times when you just don't want to open yourself up, or you just for some reason can't understand what someone is trying to say, and some things just aren't getting in, that you just don't understand, because it's like, well, the logic is failing there for me. So you ask questions. And I had an incident like that yesterday where I made a comment and someone immediately jumped up and said, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I don't understand. Why are you getting all upset? I only made a general comment. And they're saying, oh, well, what are your intentions? I said, there's no intention. I was just making a general observation. I wasn't directing it particularly at you. I was trying to have an open conversation with you about it. And they went, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm getting at. I said, yeah, sure, I know what you're getting at. I'll just make an ironic observation. No need to get all upset and totally emotionally invested in something. Or, I'm not sure it's flattering or it's particularly concerning that people do get totally emotionally invested in people that they don't really know, or even don't know personally. It's not his fault, and it's not totally weird, but it seems to be a product of the time that people get totally emotionally involved in a lot of things that they don't understand. They don't ask enough questions. I can say things like, the face of it, I don't approve on based on the information that I've been given, or I do approve, or I have more questions. Can you clarify this for me? That's the whole thing with dichotomy, is actually being able to ask those questions and think about, what are the implications, farther reaching, not in generalities, and how people come to those conclusions, because a lot of people live with these contradictions in their life and they do struggle to resolve them. I think that's where you get a lot of people that take up, like get really obsessed about particular meanings and causes, and when they're so definitive in their beliefs, there is no room to, I guess, have a chat with them about it. There is no room at all, because they have not left themselves. It's not anybody else. They've left themselves painted in a corner. Whether it's, whatever corner is, moralistic, ethically, politically, emotionally, psychologically, they've painted themselves into a corner. I don't know why they would do that. I can understand why they would do that. I do quite intensely understand why they do that. But it is a thing that I recognise that people do, and while I can ask them questions and poke at them and say, hey, are you aware? Plenty of people have come back at me and blasted me for that, and I'm like, well, your dichotomy that you've got to live with, you painted yourself in a corner. I'm merely trying to help paint you out, but like out of the corner, I should say. Or allow you, providing a plank that you can walk over to get out of the corner. But it's you that has to walk over that plank. So dichotomies are a big thing also that we deal with in the kink world, where some people say, how, the dom that's not dominant in their daily life, or the sub that's not submissive in their daily life. A lot of things that we get taught and grown up with, that society has said is good or bad, can kind of get turned out on its head in regards to the lifestyle, and it's how you resolve them and the ways of thinking, and the people that are around you and that can explain it to you, that can help resolve those dichotomies, so you're not in this endless spiral of self-hatred and shaming that a lot of people, and group guilt and all that sort of stuff that goes on. So what are the dichotomies in your life? I'm interested to know. How have you resolved it? Have you come to terms with the dichotomies and accepted, yes, okay, in this instance it's good, but in this instance it's bad? Like, how much do you use context and your own morals and ethics and strength of character? Like, I'm talking about your own, not your friends, not the media, not other people that want to pat you on the head and tell you that you're right, or convince you that they're right because they get a kick out of it, but your own personal beliefs. It's an interesting thing, interesting times, and I kind of look at things these days as like, I think of thinking about Lisa Simpson, how she told her dad that she has this, that his reasoning was flawed, because look, hey, I have this rock and it protects me from bears. What? So how does it work? It doesn't work. It's just a rock. Yeah, but you don't see any bears, do you? So then Homer went and said, oh, I'll pay you $50 for the rock, and she sold it to him for $50. I mean, that's what people do these days, and that's to me the logic of so-called science and people in general that I see on social media these days. That's the logic. Quite interesting. But then, hey, what do I know? I'm a cat. Anyways, gotta go. Rain predicted. Well, here we are in Brisbane, and it's been rain where I've been living, but there's still some bushfires around. So look into all the charities and people that you go into when you donate to bushfires, and make sure it actually gets to the people that need it, or that help actually getting to people that need it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.